Hansel and Gretel, Goldilocks and the Three Pigs, Jack and the Beanstalk, all stories. And if I asked you right now, you can probably tell me what happens in each of those stories, right? Why? Because stories help you remember. So here's my question to you. Are you using storytelling in your content creation strategy? No? Anyone? Anyone? No? No one? No one? Oh, well, that's what we're gonna be talking about today. How and why you should be using storytelling in your content creation strategy. And it's not the storytelling that you think. So make sure and stay tuned. If you're new here, my name is Socially Nina, and I support coaches, consultants, and creatives in their journey to create a stronger personal brand using content creation and video marketing. So if this is you, or if you want to learn just a little bit more about that, make sure you subscribe, ring the notification bell, and then give me a like if you feel like I'm teaching you something new. I mean, you know, just a little. You guys. Oh, and if you're new, I'm super duper silly. Now, if you're not new to my channel, then just drop a line and say hello. Just a little. I don't know why I have Kevin Hart stuck in my head. Let's go on to the training. Okay, so let's start with the why. Why am I supposed to be telling stories? Like, I don't really like telling my business. I don't want to share too much about myself. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about tell everybody what you ate and what you did and blah. It's not that type of storytelling. What I'm talking about is creating connections with people. In fact, that's one of the reasons why you should be using storytelling in your strategy. So one, storytelling is emotional. It takes you on a journey and a roller coaster, right? Number two, it helps connect you with people on a common ground. And number three, and probably most important for you as a personal brand, it makes people remember you, right? How easy is it for you to remember a connection between someone and a story? You may not remember their name, you may not remember the year, but you're gonna remember that story. Remember that story from college, remember that story from your friend's wedding, remember that story from whenever. You remember stories. So using that strategy makes people remember you. So let's talk about what I mean by stories. You can actually use visual stories. Shocker! What do I talk about on this channel all the time? Visual content, video content. You don't actually have to tell a story. You don't actually have to write a story. You can show your story. So think of Instagram. You know, that's one of my favorite little apps right now. Instagram actually has a feature called Stories. And they're not long, right? Stories are 15 seconds. And one of the things that people are doing is they're using it wrong. They post one thing up there, and then that's it, right? It's a story. You should actually take them through. So those little snippets, people are gonna be kind of on the edge of their seat, just like you are right before your favorite show goes to commercial, right? Take them through a journey in your stories. But Instagram took it a step further. On your feed, right? When you're scrolling, that's your feed. When you post a picture, you can post multiple pictures. Have you ever seen those Instagram posts where it's like, hey, what are you doing? And then you say swipe left or whatever it is, right? It might say the 5 tips to living your best life. Swipe 1, swipe 2, etc. That is telling a story. They give you space to actually go deeper, to connect. So imagine just 3 different things that you can do in your social media and digital marketing strategy to start telling stories, right? Really imagine it. Go ahead and write it down. Yeah, grab something, type it in your phone. Actually using YouTube, they have shorts now, so you can do short little clips. They have your stories. Pinterest has stories. Everyone has stories now. So you can tell these little visual stories to connect with your audience. But here's the key. You have to tell stories that connect with your audience. So know who your audience is and then take them on a journey. So in the end, they might see a win. So for instance, you see a lot of people sharing behind the scenes where they have fails. Now, when they share those fails, do they ever just end up like, hey, I did this, it failed, and now I'm broke? There would be no reason to share that story, right? What happens is, just like when you're watching a TV show, the hero's in trouble, right? They're falling off the cliff, but oh no, they're saved, and now happily ever after, right? So your story should have the same hero's journey. So you may talk about how you did something and it was an issue and you fought through and emotion, you're talking about how frustrated you are and how you couldn't go on, and then you figured it out, and then all of a sudden now you're a millionaire. Wouldn't that be more useful to your potential clients to see that you've been where they are, you've taken a journey, it's emotional, they don't know if you're gonna make it out of it, and then all of a sudden you prevailed. It makes them think that they can do it too because of your strategies, right? What you're gonna share, what you're gonna teach them, what you're going to sell them is that journey to come out of that deep space, that dark space, those issues, those frustrations, and get them to the win at the end, right? So storytelling is an emotional journey that you take your clients on. It doesn't have to be a long story. It could be 5 tips, 5 things that you should never do, 5 things to get you out of. What you wanna do is concentrate on their frustrations and help them get to the end, the hero's win. All right, so this, just in case you haven't figured it out, is part 4 of a 4-part series about how to create a strong personal brand. If you haven't watched those, go back and watch those. I probably should have said that in the beginning, huh? Oh well, so watch those first and then come back here. But here's what I want to know. How are you introducing storytelling into your digital marketing strategy? And I'm actually gonna give you a couple of other things that you can do. So, infographics, storytelling, live streams, storytelling, right? Everything, your emails, storytelling, everything that you do, you wanna go look at it and reevaluate it and see, are you telling a story that connects with your audience? So, for those of you that made it to the end, thank you, bravo. Can't wait to see you online. Make sure and give me more topic suggestions below because I got a lot more coming. See you soon, peace.